If you're serious about changing your life in the next 30 days, you need a perspective shift, not a plan. And the final point in this video is going to be the piece that brings it all together to help you build your dream life. So let's get right into the video. Number one, your life isn't waiting on clarity, it's waiting on courage. First and foremost, release the belief that it has to be hard. I feel like we put a lot of thought into what something could be, and the 99% of where we place ourselves are in our thoughts, and the 1% is the reality of what actually happened. So in the last 30 days of the year, your focus should also be changing your perspective. You have to start looking at life differently because it's gonna be so easy for us to delay ourselves, for us to think we're not worthy, for us to think that it's not fit for us, simply because of the thoughts that we keep telling ourselves. And trust me, I put myself in this victim mindset and mentality for the longest period of my life, especially when I was in like my college years and like a little bit in my early 20s. It was the hardest for me. So if you can get this point, get these perspective shifts and start applying them to your life, you can 3x the speed of what you actually want with discipline and a lot more. Your life is not waiting on clarity, it is waiting for courage. Most people know exactly what they want to do, they just don't want to feel uncomfortable doing it. And the reality is, you're going to feel uncomfortable about something that you don't know how to do in the first place. No one goes into a new thing knowing how to be the best at it. No one does something like 3 or 4 times and then they're a master at it. Every version of iteration is another chance for success. I was watching a podcast a couple of days ago and he talked a lot about how the more reasons that you have to keep trying at something, the more iterations you make, the more version 1, version 5, version 8s, eventually you'll get to version 12 or 13 or 106, and that will be the one thing, the one version that you focus on because it worked, but you didn't give up. And in order to not give up, you have to keep trying. Do not take the easy route out and think, I just don't want to do it because it's going to be too hard or I haven't gotten it yet. You're either going to do it or you don't, but the time will pass anyways. The thing about it is that we are either going to make ourselves happy or miserable, but the amount of work is going to be the same. So it's why I'm super passionate about making sure that your mind shifts in the way that you think about this thing, whatever that thing is for you. So number 2, you're not behind, you're just not focused. It is a hard truth to hear, but coming from someone who used to be a master procrastinator, you can think, oh my gosh, like what am I doing? Like why am I not seeing the things I want to see, especially when I have the time to do these things? You're not focused. I wasn't focused. You can catch up to your dream life faster than you think the minute that you stop delaying the progress it takes to get there. So what that can look like is when you have time, when you have an hour or 2 hours of time on your hand, yes, you can scroll on TikTok, yes, you can go on Instagram Reels, Facebook Reels, whatever, but you can also use that time, at least half of it, to think about how am I going to start this business plan? How do I want my life to look differently before summer? How do I want to get this weight off? Like what kind of meals can I start eating? Like when you start actually putting intentional time towards whatever that dream life looks like for you, and mind you, these dream lives can be in seasons. Like it doesn't just have to be the all-encompassing, like this is what I want for my entire life, because we rarely find ourselves in that space where we know what we want to do forever. Things change. We change as people. We meet people that changes different things for us that we never thought would be a part of the picture. Like, so think about it in a season, so it just releases so much pressure off of what the dream life should look like for you. For now, think about your season in the next year. You can change a lot can change in a year. So the next time that you catch yourself about to scroll on your phone, about to call a friend and spend 4 hours versus 40 minutes checking in with them, think about what is it that I want to achieve in the next 365 days. And if that's still even too much to think about for you, the next 6 months, which means you do 6 things consistently for the next 6 months. Every month you do something consistently. That's what's going to get you closer to your dream life. Number 3, your future is being decided by habits you don't even think about. Your dream life is already being either built or destroyed based off of the habits that you're not doing or are doing. This is why it's so important to have a daily routine. Daily routines look like having small wins and a big win or multiple big wins. So small wins look like making your bed as soon as you get up or not leaving the house to go to school or work before that's done. That's your first small win of the day. Another small win is either packing or preparing a breakfast to make the night before, or having breakfast and making it within your morning routine. That's small win number 2. Small win number 3 could look like already having your clothes out the night before or the morning of so that you're ready to go, and you just release all of this mental stress of what to do and thinking about small ancillary things that leaves time for the big things. Some big wins could be making so much more progress progress on a project that you know is coming up, but it's not necessarily at the deadline, you finish it before maybe the last day or two that it's due. That brings you to this space of I can get things done before I have 24 hours to complete them. Another big win could be I had the choice to just scroll, watch a bunch of YouTube with 3 or 4 hours of free time that I had, but I only spent that time watching YouTube or scrolling for the amount of time it took me to eat a meal, and then the remaining 3 hours or 4 hours I had, I dedicated it to doing research on how much capital it would take to buy a business in this state. Or I read another chapter of this book on financial literacy because I don't know much about index funds or how to save or Roth IRAs. I'm really passionate about financial literacy, so that's where most of my examples come from. Anyways, find ways where you can have big wins in your day based on your dream life. Your dream life is going to look so different from mine, from your parents, from your spouses, from anyone and everyone, because it's things that get you excited, things that you could talk about if no one paid you a cent to do it, and you have to be okay with that. What I will also say is, do not tell small minds big dreams. And it doesn't mean that people in your life have small minds. It means they can't see the result or the feeling that it would take when you achieve that thing the same way that you would. So don't get upset and don't get mad when people say things or do things a certain way based off of something that gives you the maximum amount of joy. You have to keep those kind of thoughts and progress and results to yourself until it can be seen by others. Because the more we talk about it, neurologically, scientifically, our brain thinks that it's already done. So sometimes the things that we would like to do, we wonder, why aren't we doing this? Why do I keep talking about this and it's not happening? Because your brain already thinks it's done. So stop talking about it and start having people just see the results of what you're doing. Number 4, you won't get a new life with old priorities. If every single thing is important to you, nothing is. Everything can't hold the same capacity that you don't have. Let me put it like this. You know that you have a birthday dinner coming up. You know that you have a project deadline at work. You know that you want to spend time just recentering, journaling, like dealing with whatever thoughts you had from the week before. You know that maybe you have kids to tend to, family to tend to. All of those things cannot be on a 100% capacity level. That birthday dinner, depending on who it is, how long they've been in your life, how important they are to you, it has to come on a scale. So you have to ask yourself from 0% to 100%, how important are these things in my life that I have to do that take this time to do? So the birthday dinner, it might be 65 to 70% because this is a childhood friend. This is your best friend. This is someone who is there with you, your confidant. That way, it helps you start ordering different things based on how much time and attention you give it. So you might be able to go to the birthday dinner, sure, but you might have to leave 30 minutes early because you know I gotta be up early because that project deadline I have to do at work, I need to want to wake up early, so I have to go to bed sooner, which means that priority level was 80% versus the 65 to 70% the birthday dinner was. Then you move on to, okay, I need to reflect about what happened this week. I had a rough week and I just don't really know what's going on. I feel kind of like weird and stale. So maybe getting pen to paper so that these thoughts don't live in my head can be really helpful. So take that time because that is a 95% priority. That is something where if you're not your best, you can't perform your best. So release it in the best way, in the healthiest way you can, the most low cap way you can, so that you can start seeing different for you. And then lastly, maybe it's your kids, it's your spouse, your family. Like, you know, there are things that you want to do and still be attentive to them. And that's 50% because that will always be there. But maybe this week it has to be 50% and you have to be okay with that. But know that you can dedicate next week for it to be 80 or 90% by planning something. Half of the problems that we have in our life are due to poor planning. And so because we think we can't make up for something, or this is once in a lifetime, or I have to be there because they know I'm usually there, you have to make different decisions based off of the seasons that you are in your life. And if the people around you don't understand that, they're not people you need to be around frequently because you just can't be everywhere all at once. So I'll get off my soapbox, but hopefully that helps you start prioritizing things by different levels of order. Number 5, your life changes the moment your standards do. We've heard it all. It's in the book Atomic Habits. It's said differently, so many different ways, but you don't rise to your goals. You fall to your standards or your level of systems. Once you raise them, everything shifts. So what are some of the standards that you have? And if you don't have any, this is a great time to create them right before the new year starts for you. Don't wait till January 1st to start changing things about yourself, because you're not going to wake up January 1st and be like, I'm ready to go. I'm going to lose 50 pounds and I'm going to eat well and I'm going to stop cussing and I'm going to stop doing this and that. It starts when you are fed up with what you are doing. It's not a day or a time, it's just honestly a decision. And if you don't know how to create those standards, keep it basic. Your standards should always fall in the category of physical, financial, spiritual, and emotional. Those 5 places to be is what helps you build those standards. So say for example, for physical, you know that the standard is you have to do 30 minutes of exercise every single day. Like, who cares if it's raining? Who cares if it was a long day? Who cares if you got something to do at night? You find the time and you plan that the night before so that you can set yourself up for success that day. Maybe it's financial. You know that I need to save $100 to $200 a month if I can. And if that's too much, I start small and I save $50 a month, or I stop eating out for this month. I do something that contributes to my financial success. Therefore, I don't feel like I have to like scrummage for pennies and dollars if I ever need it. Emotional. How are you checking in with yourself? Are you journaling? Do you have a therapist? Do you have a mentor? Like, emotionally, how are you releasing things that stay in your head? If you don't do that, it's going to really hurt in the long run. So I highly recommend, at the very least, even if you feel like you don't need therapy, just try it out for a month. Like, try it out. You never know what could come with it. And then be honest in those sessions. You're paying the money, you're paying the insurance. I don't know what the situation is or how you get that service, but just think, I am using my time. If you think nothing else about the currency and the insurance, the time I'm spending to talk about things that are bothering me from someone who doesn't know me personally in life and gives unbiased opinions, this could help me for my benefit. Let me use it to the fullest capacity. Spiritually, with me, you know I've never been shy about this. Me and God, we go like this, that. He, my heavenly Father, He is the reason for everything. He is not just the reason for the season. He's the reason why I have the mindset I have, the reason why I have the joy and the peace and the hope for what could be, because it's definitely not me. If it was up to me, I'd be like, this sucks. Okay, like, whatever. My complete perspective has changed just from spending the first 5 to 10 minutes of the day with God, praying, thanking Him for giving me life, like another opportunity to do something better with my life, where a lot of people did not get that opportunity. So sometimes most times perspective is paired with gratitude. And the more gratitude that you show, the more gratitude that you display, the better your life gets internally, and then start showing externally. And then mentally, how are you staying stimulated? Are you deciding to find a book, find a puzzle, find chess? I don't know. Find things that mentally stimulate your brain so that you can start thinking about things in ways that maybe others wouldn't, because it's just not something that they prioritize. It's not to think about others, but it's to think about the quality of life that you want for yourself. And you do that by learning, being a forever student. It might not be in a book, it might be in a podcast, but whatever you do, get learning. Number 6, discipline isn't punishment, it's self-respect. If you respected your future self, you'd show up differently, period, point blank. So think about what it's gonna take for you to think about future you, whether future you is 6 months from now, a year from now, next week, 5 years from now. Find ways where you can understand, this version of myself would be so proud, so grateful, I would impact so many other people. Find a way where it makes a way in your life. Number 7, remember that your dream life is not far away. Your excuses are just a little too loud. The gap is not big, your comfort zone is. And if you understand this, you'll understand that anything you want is achievable, but how uncomfortable are you willing to be in that situation that you've never been in? Yes, it's gonna look different. Yes, it's gonna feel different. Yes, people might think differently about you. Who cares? This is the one life you get, and you have to live it with impact. You have to live it with hope and joy. Even if others don't understand how that can bring you hope and joy, that is not your job to get them to understand. Your job, your duty, might I add, is to decide, I want to do something impactful with my life. And even if the people in my life that I truly, genuinely love and care about don't understand it, I have to just show them. They'll just have to see it. Now, you don't do that for them. You do that for you. They just happen to see the results. Maybe they see the results of what it looks like, but you can't be concerned with that. You have to understand, what is my goal? Why am I doing this? Why does this matter to me? What reason did I start thinking about why this mattered to me? That is the key piece. Why are you doing this? And if you don't know, sit down with yourself long enough to figure it out. Sit down with yourself long enough to figure out why you're doing the things that you're doing. You can change your life. I am a firm believer in that, and you have to speak those things out of your mouth. You have to think those thoughts first. Speak them over your life. Even if you don't believe them yet, speak them, because it does become your reality. There was a video that I had watched a long time ago that had showed the results of speaking very negatively to plants and then speaking life, speaking positivity into plants. They did that for a month. The plant that they spoke negatively to withered, died. Like, even though it was getting the right proper nutrients, water, sunlight, the same way that the other plant was, because of that energy it was getting fed, it slowly started withering. suffering. The positive plant obviously flourished, same nutrients, same sunlight, same water, everything. And it flourished almost quicker than it should have due to the type of plant that it was. And I think that speaks very true to us, is that we are just like plants, growing, evolving. The things we say to us and ourselves, like, that's what brings us to life. That's what helps us get through hard days. And so don't tell yourself harder things on harder days. That's the time in the life that you speak into yourself, even if it's so hard to believe it. Like, you may have had the worst day possible. You tell yourself a bad day is only 24 hours. Tomorrow will look differently. I will be better. I am someone who gets things done. I am someone who decides to do a different decision, the right decision. I am someone who believes that God is the author of my life. I am someone who's smart. I am someone who graduates. I am someone. I am someone. Fill in blank positively. You have to be the advocate over your life as well. For me, I believe that God is the author of my life, and that whatever decision I make, I am always going according to his plan. And if I'm not, he will redirect me. And if I am, he will guide me. He's going to guide me either way. And I believe that we will get wherever we need to go. It's just a matter of how long it's going to take us to get there. So if you start changing your mindset now, it can be completely different a year from now, for sure. Number 8, nothing changes if you don't. Your environment, your friends, your job, they are not the problem. Your mindset is the thermostat. So if you feel yourself and it's coming up there, you find a way to remove yourself from that situation, even momentarily, so that you don't give yourself or give others the reaction that they don't need to see from you. You no longer need to put yourself in that mindset, put yourself in that environment. Don't feed into people's trolling, their negativity. You decide, I can make a different decision. I can decide not to react. And then that makes them look silly. You think about that. If nothing else works, you just think about, I'm not going to give them the satisfaction of feeling like whatever they were trying to do to alter my emotions or my thoughts worked. It's almost like telling someone who's trying to insult you, what'd you say? Huh? I didn't hear you. Now they have to repeat that, and now it doesn't have the same impact. You see what I mean? So be the author of how that looks for you. You can absolutely change your life in the next 30 days if you follow even half of the things that I said today. But at the end of the day, be in prayer. I know that I've talked on this channel a lot about how God has completely changed my life, and I will continue to forever, because without him, my life is just so absolutely dreary, dreadful, miserable, literally just hate it absolutely. With him, it has completely just changed the way that I view how people are to me. Understand that we are working not only in our flesh, what we see in our bodies, but we are also spirits. So sometimes when you wonder, why would people do this to me? Why would they feel this way about me? We're operating in the flesh and the spirit. So we have the best intentions, but our flesh can be weak at times. So without getting in your word, without prayer, without worship music, without connecting yourself to the source, which for me is God, my heavenly Father, it can be really hard to see how life is, period, point blank. So try to think about that the next time that you're really getting down in life. Is, all right, let me just try to open up this Bible. Let me see, is there a Bible verse about frustration or anxiety or anger? I promise you there is. And then say, like, go to ChatGPT and be like, what does this mean? What does this mean? How can this apply to my life? Because sometimes the reason why we stay out of it is because it's hard to understand it. That's why we don't do a lot of things. People don't continue school. People don't continue learning different skills because it's hard. Make it easy for yourself. So I really hoped that this helped and put you in just a completely different headspace. If you stayed until this long in the video, leave this emoji so that I know that you are a real one. And if you haven't already, like and subscribe this video. That's the best way to show support to my channel to continue making videos like this. I'm really grateful and helpful. Like, as I'm in a reflective season of my life, you have just been amazing. Every single one of you who continuously come back and want to do something different for your life. It gets me so emotional, and I'm just so grateful that you are here and that you want to see something better, and that I can be just a small vessel of that and a part of your journey. So I'll see y'all on the next episode of Party of One Podcast. Peace.